Hi, my name is Miss Thomas. I work at Jonesboro Middle School. I am going to be doing the Into Thin Air lab that my students completed a few weeks ago. Purpose of this lab is to investigate how quickly water evaporates, compare evaporation from sunlight to shade, and then develop a CER to support the evidence that they got. So I'm going to have 2 paper towels. I'm going to have a beaker of water, and I have a paper towel to help me with my drops because I unfortunately don't have a dropper at the moment. I have a flashlight. This is going to be my sunlight. I'm going to have over 1 towel, and I'm using the timer or the stopwatch that is on my laptop. Safety considerations is to make sure the kids review the lab safety form and rules, keep water away from any electric cords, sockets, or laptops, cleaning up any spills properly if they spill it. I spilled it before this video, so this is actually my second time recording it because I accidentally knocked it over, and I'm sure, kids do that all the time, just knowing to stop what you're doing and just clean up what you're doing and start over. So I'm going to measure it in centimeters because I do not have a metric ruler, and I'm going to do the same amount of drops on each paper towel. I'm going to record it every minute, record how large the diameter is after every minute. Students will engage by asking questions and predicting before the lab about what they believe will happen to the water drops, and then also collect and record the data and make a CER. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start. Going to start by 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'm going to go to the stopwatch. At 0 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and measure, and it's at 3 centimeters, 3.5 centimeters. I'm going to go ahead and start. And forgive me, I forgot my lab form, my new lab form. So I need to go ahead and grab that. So you're actually supposed to keep the flashlight over it, but I forgot to get a lab form, so I had to take it for a second, okay? So you keep the flashlight. I'm at 36 seconds. Okay, is at 1 minute now. I'm going to go ahead and measure. Oh, it's actually expanded to 4. This is also expanded to 4. So I was at 3.5 centimeters for both of them. And expanded to 4, I guess it still was expanding. The water was when I put it down. So I have the flashlight still over it. I try to stress to my kids, you have to keep the flashlight and the stopwatch going. The only thing that is changing position is you with this ruler, okay? Because the kids, they will keep adding drops to it every minute, and then, it messes up the data. They, for some reason, feel like they have to add drops to it every minute. They also feel like they can take off the flashlight after every minute, even though I tell them I'm at 2 minutes now not to take off the flashlight. So, well, it looks like it's at 4.5 now, so I guess it's still kind of expanding. I think one of the bigger misconceptions with this, or one big error with this lab, is the access to light. So, you know, I'm using this flashlight, but it's not very bright, and I feel like that makes it a little bit harder to actually complete this lab. And then I do have a window in my classroom, but it's one long window, as you guys probably already know how it's set up, and it's really hard for all my kids to go to that window. I have 30 kids in one class. And then on top of that, 3 minutes. Let me go ahead and all right, it's saying it's at 5 centimeters now. But this one is also saying it's at 5 centimeters. It's actually getting bigger. So yes, the flashlight is not really bright enough. There's not a big enough window, but also when this unit is happening, it's really cold and really cloudy outside, so there is no actual sunlight. Because I could have half my kids go over there and do their lab and then have them swap spaces, but it's usually very, very like cloudy. All right, I'm at 4 minutes. Is that still at 5? I think another thing that could help this lab is doing longer than 1 minute intervals, maybe like 2 or 3 minute intervals, because it takes a good 2 minutes for this to spread out. And what I'm experiencing right now, and my kids also experience, is that this is not evaporating fast enough for us to record it. It's gotten to 5 and it's kind of staying at 5. I'm going to stick on for like 1 more minute so that to see if it does end up shrinking. I'm at about 5 minutes now. All right, this one actually kind of. So what's cool is actually now that we're at the 5 minute mark, the one with the flashlight is staying at 5 centimeters, but the one without the flashlight went to 5.5 centimeters. So now that it has reached kind of like its large like the max diameter, it looks like the one with the flashlight has, maybe. Okay. So now we're at the point where they make a CER and it's asked to make a claim about what affects the rate at which water disappears. And the students should say sunlight affects. All right, yeah, 6 minutes. Let's see what's going on. Yep, 5 centimeters, 5.5. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. The rate at which water disappears. And then what evidence, I would say like at between 4 and 5 minutes. Tau A stopped expanding, or actually kept expanding, and tau B stopped. That's what it'll look like from the kids, right? So yeah, that is my Into Thin Air lab. Thank you guys so much for watching.